Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be exploring Gillinor looking for the best shops to buy items from. The benefit of NPC shops is that oftentimes it does not require a lot of money to start making money back from them. On top of that, there oftentimes is not requirements, however there are some exceptions to that. Occasionally there will be a quest requirement and very rarely a skill requirement to reach the place. However, most of them are pretty much requirement free, and oftentimes you won't need a lot of money to start doing them. So we're going to start with 10 mil. We're going to go ahead and explore a bunch of different shops. Now these are not going to be in a particular order, however I will obviously give my opinion on which ones I think are best. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so we're at our first location, and that is Zaps Staff shop. Now this is a very common spot when people think about buying items from shops. The reason is because almost everyone knows about it. The main benefit to this place is it's very easy to get to. It's literally right in the middle of a rock, and he has a bunch of different items, but what you're looking for is battle staves. We got one here, so it's 8,677 on a GE, but if we look at the price here, it's 7,700, so you're pretty much consistently getting a 1k profit for every battle staff you buy. The main problem here is that, of course, there's a ton of bots, as well as legitimate players, buying them out here. Now one thing you have to keep in mind is that you will be needing to hop worlds very consistently here, and if you are not giving the client enough time to reset, you will get booted out for too many logins. Now the best way to avoid this is to just do it at a pace that the client can catch up with. However, if you want to speed through 7 or 8 worlds hops and then wait for a minute, that also can work too. However, it's better to just find a rhythm that works better. Okay, so we've been hopping worlds for quite a while, so you're looking at 1k profit per battle staff. Now I'm not going to be guessing a money per hour because it can vary so much. However, for a couple shops I will give my input on that, but we managed to get 15 battle staffs, so that's about 15k profit in the time that I was recording this. So it is pretty profitable, however you will need a fair amount of starting cash. You can see we already burned through 120k just for those 15 battle staffs, but it's really easy and can be profitable. Okay, so next up we're checking out Gnomes Clothing store. Now this is on the second level of the Gnome Stronghold. Once you go up the ladder here, or the first level I should say, but once you go up the ladder it's a little bit to the northeast, and it's the gnome in the purple attire. So the big benefit of this store is the items are extremely cheap, and you can sometimes sell them for a massive margin. Like, let's have a look at these turquoise boots right now. $17.99 each. And they're valued at 200 coins. And if we have a look on GE Tracker here, it's reasonably accurate to sell it for possibly 1800. Like, look at that. For the last week, it's been selling for 1800. Of course, these are very slow sells, but if you really just don't have that much money, you can make a ton of money here. So what you just do is, let's buy 5 of these guys. Let's look at the blue boots. So 200 into 1800 for those as well. I'll buy 5 of those as well. Green boots are valued at 719. We could have a quick look at those guys. Yeah, green boots are probably worth doing too. Look like we could go there selling upwards of 1800 as well. Now these are just fashionscape items, or sometimes clans will use them. So that's kind of why they actually have a purpose. So after that you just hop worlds, and here you don't really have to worry about hitting a login cap too much because you fill up your inventory pretty quickly. And then you just have to run to the bank, which I'll show you in a second here. So we'll just buy some more of these turquoise boots, and some more blue boots, and some more green boots. These guys sometimes will have good margins on them as well. You just kind of have to check all the items because there is no rhyme or reason to why these items sell for what they do. It just kind of depends on who wants them at the time. Once your inventory is full, you can kind of just run down here, and there is a bank in the kind of southwestern corner. So this method is for beginner people who don't have a lot of money. If you just have, let's say, 10 or 15,000 coins, you can easily double or triple your money just by investing the money into boots and waiting for them to sell. So I always see a lot of people doing this method. Now it's also in the Gnome Stronghold. I'm literally just a bit north of where the bank was. Just ran up here, and we're talking to Hudo. Now he sells a ton of different ingredients, but what most people buy is the pineapple, because it's only worth 2 coins and it sells for about 100 on the Grand Exchange, 130 right now. So this would be ideal for people who are literally 100% broke. So by buying all 10 of these, you're gaining about 1k in profit, roughly, and then you just hop worlds. The reason I'm not really sold on this so far is that you fill up your inventory so quickly. It's only about 2 to 3k per per inventory. Then you have to run back and forth. And look, other people are doing this pretty consistently, so it might be worth it. So let's go ahead and just buy out an inventory quickly here. My god, this is a popular spot apparently. We'll keep hopping around here. So yeah, you'd get about 2.5k per inventory, so I think this might be 200k an hour, maybe something like that, if you're not fighting with other people for it. But just because of that alone, it's not even worth it. You can see I already sold off 3 of my blue boots already as well for 1800, which is amazing. One other thing I meant to mention is just from that one inventory, assuming I sell all my items for that price, I'll be making 32k. Now of course, you wouldn't make an hourly rate here because it's really going to depend on how quickly you can sell the items. However, that's still really nice to see. So yeah, we pretty much got an inventory here already, so that's about, it costs us next to nothing, so that's about 3.3k. So I can see how if you were brand new and totally poor, this might be worth it. However, I wouldn't really recommend this as a hourly method because you really aren't going to get that much. Okay, so next up, this is one of my favorite shops to buy from. However, it does have a requirement to get in. You need to get access to the Warriors Guild. Now the easiest way to get that is to have a 65 attack and 65 strength. However, you can do it with 99 if any of those, but is less likely. Now what I like about this method is, for one, you don't really need a lot of starting cash. You probably only need like 20 to 30k, but you can get upwards of about 600 to 700k an hour from a very entry-level money-making method. Obviously, you're not getting any experience or anything like that. However, what you're going to do is buy items from Liddie. Now what this guy sells is plain pizzas and potatoes with cheeses. So we're going to buy them out quickly before someone else does. So we have a look at that. It's selling for about 450 for the plain pizza and about 400 for the potato with cheese. So we just made, well, let's see how much they're valued at. And 11 coins and 52 coins. So not a whole lot. And so we made 350 off this one and about 400 or something off that one. So we just made like, I don't know, 3k or something. Now this place is extremely close to a bank, which is awesome, and the items stock up to 10, so if you're not actually fighting anyone for it, you can get a ton of items very quickly. Or I believe one of them stocks up to 10 and the other one stocks up to 5 or 6 or something like that. Either way, you can fill your inventory extremely quickly. However, if somebody else is doing it, you will be fighting with them, and there are Ironmen who use this item as a general food source, so they will be buying those out as well. However, if you do it at a non-peak hour, you can do pretty well for yourself here. Okay, so next up on the list is the meat shop in Canifis. Now to get here, you will need to do Priest in Peril, and that's about it though. Now this guy Rufus sells a couple items that are worth buying. The main one is the raw shark. However, he only stocks one. Now that sharks are only worth 720 each, it's not that great, but we'll have a look at some of the other items he sells. The main one I thought that's worth buying is raw bear meat. So that's 740 GP in profit there, and about another 300, so it's about 1k per full item set you buy. And then you can just switch worlds, and not that many people are actually here, and it's right north of a bank, which is a pretty vital part of buying items from shops. The bank needs to be fairly close by. Okay, so one inventory is going to net you 2 to 3k once again, but really not a lot of people here. Raw sharks obviously are going to sell pretty quickly. The bear meat might not be as quick. Yeah, per day you're looking at maybe a couple thousand, so it'd probably be about a full day to sell about 1,000 of these. So you couldn't do this for too long. However, I think you might get 300k an hour here if you were consistently doing it, and you wouldn't really have any competition, which would be one of the main benefits. Okay, next up is probably my favorite method of buying from shops, and that is buying from the Stonemason shop. This guy has some pretty insane margins you can take advantage of, and he sells a bunch of different items. Now, the requirements here is you need to start the Giant Dwarf quest to get to Keldagrim. On top of that, you will need quite a bit of money to actually consistently buy items from this shop. But let's have a look here. So the item I buy the most is the gold leaf. If we examine it right now, it looks like it's selling for 138k and buying for 130k. Let's have a look on GE Tracker here. The gold leaf, apparently it is actually selling for 138. So I think once I'm done this video, I might actually go buy some gold leaves. That's an insane margin, 9k. So what you want to do is just buy one and hop worlds. Now it's more ideal if you can actually buy a couple items per world, because then you're not wasting as much time. But yeah, the marble block on top of that also has an insane margin on it right now. So let's go have a look at that item too. Marble block. Looks like it's selling for about $3.45. That seems quite a bit higher than it normally is at. So I'm not sure what is going on right now, but yeah, we'll buy one of those. Why not? Oh my god, I just clicked on buy 10, but I didn't have enough money. That is so lucky. You really have to be careful on clicking for this stupid thing. So yeah, we're just gonna be buying one of each per world and then hopping. Now we're gonna burn through our 10 mil so quick just because of how expensive the magic stone is, and we're gonna hop one more world. So this can be the most profitable method. However, I wouldn't bank on margins like this. Normally there's about a 3k margin on the gold leaf, but a 3k margin on the marble block, as well as about a 10 to 15k margin on the magic stone or whatever it's called. So those are more of the normal margins. However, right now I'm just going to be making some serious bank, which is nice. So I would expect per hour I've made about $1 mil here occasionally, depending on the margins. Right now I'd probably be making like 1 to 2 mil. I have no clue how much, but an insane amount. Now you do have to worry about world hopping here because you do buy the items out very quickly. So I would probably take a 1 minute break every 5 or 6 hops here. Otherwise you'll be getting disconnected. Okay, so we literally burned through all the money and we didn't even get a full inventory of items. So we're gonna head back to the Grand Exchange and we only have about 26k left. So let's go ahead and sell off these items. So I'm just gonna pop the marble block in for 982k and see if it sells. It does not. I didn't really expect it to, but the gold leaf really is an excellent margin. We're going to pop that in there for 137k. We're getting 7k in each, so that's 49k we get just from these items here. And the marble block, we're selling for, again, a very good margin. And the last shop I'm going to have a look at is the one on Lunar Isles. So to actually access this, you will need to complete Lunar Diplomacy, which does have a whole set of requirements to do it. Now, it is very profitable, and the shop is actually just inside this moving house. Now, surprisingly, it's actually very busy here, considering that you do need to complete Lunar Diplomacy. So you can see what items are getting bought out here. The Death Runes are a very popular one. 247 from the GE and 225 from the shop is what it is at now. She also sells Battle Staves. I think you can buy nature runes if you want to, however it's not as recommended. Mostly you're going to want to buy death runes and battle staves. Now one thing you will need to remember is your seal of passage from the quest, otherwise Ali Baba Yaga will not talk to you. So you have to buy these in groups of 10, and I'd buy them down to, I guess, 200. Of course it does differ depending on what the price on the GE is. Essentially you just keep hopping worlds and buying up the battle staves and any of the runes that you want. I think the Astral Runes may be worth a buy as well. Let's have a look at those. Astral Runes, yeah, they're down to 122. They sell for 145 on the GE and 113 here. So yeah, you could buy some Astral Runes too. Look, that one has 4 Battle Staves. That's an easy 4k there. And some Death Runes. So it's not actually too packed here right now. And yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of it. You're just going to keep hopping back and forth. And I have made upwards of 1 mil an hour under ideal scenarios here. But you could probably pull off, I don't know, 700 to 800k an hour here, no problem. However, there is a pretty steep requirement to actually access this place. Alright guys, so we're back at the Grand Exchange. Now we didn't manage to sell all the items off because honestly I just kind of ripped around to a bunch of different stalls and it hasn't even been that long. We did sell all of the gold leaves, the magic stones, and a fair amount of the marble blocks, or bricks, or whatever they are. So let's just see how much money we made just with a rough OS Buddy check with all these items in here. We even sold a fair amount of the boots, and it's coming at about 231k in profit just from buying from random shops, and we barely did any of them for more than a minute. So I'd say we did about 10 minutes of actually buying from shops, and considering that quite a few of those were very newbie methods, I'd say that you can make some serious bank. Of course, the last 2 or 3 are the best. However, I thought I would leave you guys with some options. Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to toss the video a like, or a dislike if you didn't like it, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. I will see you in the next video.